All right, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome aboard. This is your captain speaking. Today, we'll be flying to the territory of my childhood in the 1970s. That's right, I was born in 67, I grew up in the 70s, and my high school years were in the 80s, so I was an 80s teenager. I came across a video that brought back a lot of memories, and we're going to dissect this video bit by bit by bit, and show you my childhood memories, things that we did back then that kids today don't do, or they're not allowed to do. So that's the territory we're flying into today. That's our destination, the 1970s. Oh, yeah, that was the 50s, 60s, 70s, either decade was awesome for a kid. They're each a little different, but I think it dropped off in the 90s. That's when things really turned around. Well, anyway, we're going to break this down. There's so many memories, so many things that I remember from my childhood that we used to do, maybe you used to do. And if you're younger, born after the year 2000, or, so it's different for you, isn't it? So we're going to go down memory lane. And this video will be on Fakebook too. I'm going to put this on Fakebook as well as YouTube. And this is a fun video. The last video I just made was about the 900 families being evicted in Florida. Let's pray for them. That it's a very sad situation going on. Just made a video about it. Ended up being 45 minutes long, but I had so much to say. And this is why my video channel is about everything. Seinfeld is a show about nothing. I'm a channel about everything because things happen and I have something I want to say. But today's video is a fun video. Nothing political. We're just going to have some fun. We're going to get laid back, have a good time, and let's go over my childhood memories. Okay, let's see.
Anyone worrying? Or how seatbelts were more of a suggestion than a rule? Growing up in the 70s was a different world. A world without constant supervision.
That's true. We grew up in the 1970s. Seatbelts were an option back then. Yeah.
Phones or helicopter parenting.
True.
Children ran free. TV shows weren't streamed but scheduled.
True.
The rules seemed much more relaxed. But as time passed, many of these practices quietly disappeared.
True. Television shows were events. I remember the last episode of MASH. I was 16 years old. It was 1983. That was a television event. Half the country watched the last episode of MASH. You don't have that today. It was a shared experience. Half the country was watching. The only thing that we have that's still an event today is the Super Bowl, and maybe the boxing match between Tyson and Logan Paul. That's an event because I think a great number of people were watching that fight. Whoops. Like I said, a great number of people were watching that fight, so that was an event. We just don't have television events like we used to. So this Logan Paul thing and maybe the Super Bowl, that's it. I mean, there's not a whole lot. Like I said, yeah, television shows were events. You couldn't just stream it anytime, anywhere. Today, we take it for granted. I seldom sit down and watch a movie because in my mind I'm going, well, I can always watch it tomorrow, the day after that. It used to be, if you missed it, you missed it. Like your favorite episode of The Dukes of Hazzard or Knight Rider would come on. Well, if you missed it, you missed it. Oh, Kit versus Car, I don't want to miss it. Because you couldn't just watch it anytime. Because you didn't have that on DVD back then. or even VHS. We had VHS back in the 80s, but TV shows were not available on VHS except for Star Trek. And, so when Knight Rider came on, Kit versus Car, you had to watch it. Who remembers that? That television was an event. If you missed it, you missed it. When the kickoff came, you missed it, you missed it. Now we have streaming. Even with sports, you can stream any ball game, anytime, anywhere. They were events. Whether your family sat down and watched a TV show together, a movie together. Yeah, you were together as a family. They were events. We don't have that today. So what's your childhood memory? Comment below. Comment throughout this video. I'm going to ask you to engage. This is a fun video, whether you're on Facebook or YouTube or whatever platform you're watching this on. Yeah, comment below. Please engage.
Replaced by new standards and safety rules. So, what exactly did the 70s kids do that today's kids will never experience? Join us as we take a nostalgic trip back and find out.
Look at that. They're having fun.
Prank calls were the original fun before caller ID.
True. Prank calls. Remember Bart Simpson? Oh, yeah. Oh, Bart Simpson, his prank calls. Just look up Bart Simpson prank calls. I can't go because I don't remember hardly any of them. But he had several prank calls. Bart Simpson did this to, what's that guy that owned that bar? I'm getting older, so my memory is starting to go now. But yeah, Bart Simpson did this a lot. Prank calls. Oh yeah, because they didn't have caller ID. Yeah, that was a thing. You get on the phone and it says, is Anita Man there? I'm looking for Anita Man. Anita Man, I need a man. Get it? You'd say stuff like that, or gone are the days of prank calls. Yeah, those are gone. Some of them are very bad, but you're a kid. You're having fun. So what? Bart Simpson was just having fun with that bar owner. Can't think of his name right now.
Ruined it. Do you remember huddling around the landline, giggling with your friends?
Yeah, absolutely.
Is your refrigerator running? Prank calls were an innocent thrill back then, long before caller ID was a thing.
True.
No smartphones to ruin the fun. No names flashing up to give you...
We had a lot of fun back then.
The thrill came from not knowing if you'd get caught. But with technology today, prank calling has pretty much died out. It's hard to imagine a time when tricking someone on the phone was the highlight of a weekend. But that was life in the 70s.
That sure was.
The golden age of toilet papering. Toilet papering houses was practically an art form in the 1970s.
Yeah. A lot of that was going on, especially around Halloween time they did this. Or, because they would do this to someone who didn't pass out candy. You know, trick or treat. No candy? We're going to be toilet papering your house. That was a thing. Mostly around Halloween time. Or, they do it for a sporting event. Us versus them. Back then we would try to capture their mascot. If they had a mascot, the idea was to go into the enemy territory of the opposing football team and steal their mascot. But toilet papering is something that was done. It was innocent. Nobody got hurt. So you threw some toilet paper around some trees. You know. That's usually a Halloween thing. That's my understanding. I mean, but that's mostly a thing, that's something you did around Halloween when someone didn't pass out candy. You would target their house and toilet paper it. Because you're a mean person, because you didn't hand out candy to the kids. Yeah. So what's your memory of toilet papering someone's house so you don't have to confess every little detail? What was the reason? You know.
Armed with rolls of toilet paper, kids would sneak out at night to cover trees and
Yeah, look at that. Yeah.
streams of light. The aftermath looked like some kind of abstract art. It was harmless, rebellious fun.
It was.
These days, not so much.
Ah, it's too bad.
With security cameras and Ring doorbells everywhere, you'd be caught before you could even toss the first roll. The modern world just isn't built for these kinds of pranks.
No, they've taken the fun out of everything.
Pastime for kids has now been swapped for
You're taking fun
videos
out
on
of it.
social
Oh, look
media.
at that.
Much less creative, wouldn't you agree? And then there was riding bikes after school.
Oh, yeah.
And back in the 1970s, that meant one thing: hopping on your bike and cruising.
Absolutely.
You
Yeah.
didn't need a plan.
Yeah.
You just pedaled around with your friends until the streetlights came on.
We
It
did
was a
lots of
kind
that. I
freedom
rode my
today's
bike quite a
kids
bit.
don't really get to experience.
I had a little
No
green
GPS
bicycle back
tracking
then.
apps, no constant check-ins with parents.
Nope.
Just you, your bike, and endless possibilities.
Yeah. We could go a whole kind of
That sense
places.
of
I rode my
independence
bike
is
a
something
lot.
Many kids today may never know. As modern technology
And we weren't
and
fat
conscious
either.
parenting have replaced these carefree after-school adventures, the great outdoors. You see, in the 70s,
Yeah,
kids
true,
didn't need organized
true.
activities or screens to keep them entertained.
No,
The outdoors was the only playground they needed.
we played outside
Dawn
all the
until dusk,
time.
kids
That's
played
true.
outside, running, climbing, inventing games, and
Parents
letting
would
their imagination
kick you out of the house and don't come back to dinner
Today,
time.
scheduled play dates and digital devices have taken over.
Play dates. Oh my
Wild
God.
adventures that once defined
They take all the
childhood are
fun
fading
out
into
of it. That's
memories,
just,
replaced by structured and but
yeah, that's the problem. They take all the fun out of everything. Kids can't even go outside and play. Now they're glued to their phones and computers, and we've just taken the joy, we've taken the fun out of everything and anything. Play dates. I think George Carlin made a joke about that too. Whatever happened to just going outside and play with all your friends and having secret clubhouses and secret societies of the all-seeing eye? We were having fun back then. Life was fun. Hiding dirty magazines from your mom. Field and Stream, my ass. It's true. We had all kinds of fun back then. We knew how to be kids. We knew how to have fun. Today, helicopter parents and just the strictest rules have taken that away. We wonder why kids are depressed. People say they're lonely. They have anxiety because of this. I didn't get enough hearts and likes. Whatever happened just having fun, just going out and play. We didn't have an obesity epidemic back then either. And we ate lots of junk food because we burned it off. We're running and jumping and playing and riding our bikes and doing all kinds of stuff. Burning off all those calories. And the calories back then were different. We were full of chemicals. We ate a chocolate bar, it was chocolate. Even the fast food was healthier back then. Oh, that's a fact. That's an absolute fact.
let's be honest, a bit less exciting indoor fun. The freedom to roam, get dirty, and explore on your own terms is a thing of the past.
It is.
No helmets, no fear.
Yeah, we didn't have helmets either.
Back in the 1970s, riding a bike wasn't just about getting around. It was a symbol of freedom.
Yes,
And guess what? Helmets weren't even a thought.
that's true.
The wind in your hair and the thrill
Oh,
of riding
yeah.
far from home with no adults around made it all the better. No GPS, no tracking, just
Yeah.
pure adventure.
Pure freedom.
Compare that to today, where helmets, supervision, and constant communication with parents are the norm.
That's
It's a
because of
completely
few
different
assholes
experience
out
now.
there.
Kids today have more safety gear, but less of that carefree spirit that made biking
And
so
no
exciting.
fun. You've taken the fun and joy out of
Parents
everything.
were less blamed for everything.
True.
In the 70s, parenting was a lot more relaxed.
It
If a
was.
kid misbehaved, the general attitude was that it was just part of growing up. People
Yeah.
didn't point fingers at the parents right away. Kids were expected to learn responsibility on their own.
Absolutely.
Nowadays, though, if a child steps out of line, there's often an assumption that it's the parent's fault.
That's
This
sad.
shift reflects how our
That's sad. It's sad it's come to that. When I was growing up, it wasn't like that. It was like we learned a lot of stuff. Made a lot of our own mistakes. Get out of the house, go out and play, get some bumps and bruises and learn. That's how you learn. Kids today, they don't get bumps and bruises. Now they whine and complain and feel entitled to every little thing. Why? Because they didn't take those bumps and bruises going along the way. Oh, it's absolutely true. We got a whole generation of young men who are simps and pussies, and they don't know how to take rejection. They don't know how to deal with anything in life. They feel entitled. Everything should be just handed to them. When I was growing up, we weren't entitled to shit. We want it, go get it. That was the thing. Even something simple as they could take a bruise and simple as asking a girl out on a date. They can't handle rejection. So what? Rejection, that's my middle name. I grew up in the 70s. And I rode my bike, and I remember getting in an accident, and I bruised up my knee really, really bad. That's my fault. Whose fault? Nobody's but my own, because I wasn't being careful. But you learn from it. You learn from your mistakes. I had no safety gear. Who needs safety gear? Go outside, get those bumps and bruises, and learn and grow. Yeah, it's sad.
Ideas about parenting have changed, with more focus on helicopter parenting and constant involvement in kids' lives. Trampolines without nets. If you had a
problem with helicopter parents, there's just too much of it. So much the kids suffocate, and they're depressed and they're lonely. It's just too much. Come on, parents. You used to be the little kids at one time. Didn't you have fun? You want to take that away from your kids? That's what you're doing.
Trampoline in your backyard in the 1970s, you were living the dream. But there was one catch: no safety nets. That's right, kids would bounce around with nothing to stop them from flying off the edge. Sure, there were a few more bumps and bruises.
Lawsuits changed all that.
Today, trampolines come with nets, padding, and all sorts of safety features, which makes them safer, but in some ways, less exciting.
True.
Back then, you had to be extra careful, but it was worth it for the thrill.
It was.
Going to camp without a stack of paperwork. Summer camp in the 1970s was all about fun, not filling out endless forms. Parents would...
True. All we need is a little card. Parents signed it. Off to church camp. Off to camp you go. Oh, little postcard. That's all we had. Here. I agree. Boom. That's it. That's all you needed. It wasn't even a form. It was a postcard. Save you off to church camp in 1980, 1981. Youth camp. Kids camp. That's it. They didn't have long forms. Sign here, sign here, sign there. It's $1,000, but now back then it was like, I think, $80, $100. We had to sell candy bars just to pay our way into camp. I remember selling those $1 candy bars just to pay for camp. Yeah, went 2 years in a row, 1980, 1981. It was a lot of fun. Kids today don't know what that is. Too much parenting, too much helicoptering going on. Come on, let these kids be kids. Let them go out and get bumps and bruises and make mistakes. Now they're trying to... Then they grow up feeling entitled. They don't... Because they were entitled as a child. Now they're entitled as adults because they haven't learned anything. They don't learn how to make mistakes. And when they do, they want somebody else to pay for it. They don't take responsibility. Nobody does. Men or women. Let's go on here.
Sign one or two papers, and that was it. No long health checklists.
Postcard.
No extensive waivers. Just pack your bags and off you went.
Yep.
Comparing it with these days, camp comes with a lot more paperwork.
Oh my God.
It's all for safety, of course, but it's hard not to miss the simpler times when heading to camp was as easy as grabbing your backpack and a sleeping bag.
Yep.
Attending the neighborhood school. You see, back in the day, most kids just went to the closest school to their house.
I went to the same school.
The idea of researching schools or trying to get...
Yeah. There's only one. Well, there were a couple of private schools even back then. But for the most part, I went to school with the same kids, 1st grade through 12th grade. And you establish those bonds that you don't get today. Today, there's no bonds being established. All this helicoptering going on. Well, you went to this school for elementary school. You go here for middle school. Go here for high school. And each time you could be complete with a whole different set of kids. The same kids you went to middle school with, now you go to high school with a whole different batch. You don't know these kids. Because in Springfield, you do have those options. Yes, you do. But here in Little Town of Marshville, no, it's pretty much one school, a couple of private schools maybe. Church, Christian schools. But other than that, yeah, homeschooling I don't recommend. Because you take away the experience of going to a public school and having all these friends and going to the parties and ball games. You missed out on that. I don't know.
Get into the best one wasn't really a thing. You went where your friends went.
Yeah.
And that was that. This builds strong community ties.
That's exactly what I was talking about.
Everyone in the neighborhood went to the same place.
It's true.
These days, parents often stress about finding the best school. But in the 70s, it was all about going to your local school and being part of your neighborhood.
Yes.
Getting in trouble on the bus. If you acted up on the school bus in the 1970s, you did...
Squirt guns, paper wads. We threw paper wads. We had squirt guns, and bus driver did little or nothing about it. We were allowed to have fun. You can't do that today. A squirt gun today? Oh no. No, that's a no in school. Back then we had fun. Squirt, squirt, squirt. Spitballs, paper wads, throw them. We had fun. Even on the school bus, you got to have fun. We've taken the fun out of everything. Kids today don't know what that word means. They really don't. They're on their video games all day. They don't know the meaning of that word. Then they try to go on a date with some girl and they don't know how to do that. And they wonder why they're single. Because they don't know how to do that. They don't know how to go out and have a good time. If you're going on a date, leave this behind. Or take it for camera only. You set it down, face down on the table. Face down. That's what you do. You leave it be. Just you and her. Eye contact. We had fun on the school bus. It was. It was a blast. Now they have seat belts. Like you're in an airplane. You're strapped in. You're not just seat belted in. You're strapped in. I saw that. I went on the school bus recently, and the kids are strapped in. We weren't strapped in. We didn't have seat belts. We ran around and got into all kinds of mischief. Society's taken that away. Kids, they just don't know what that word fun means.
Didn't blame the bus driver. You knew you'd be the one getting in trouble. The bus driver's job was to get you to school, not to deal with discipline. If a kid caused trouble,
what's that bus driver's name on The Simpsons?
Or even getting kicked off the bus. These days, it seems like there's more pressure on bus drivers to manage behavior.
That shouldn't be that way.
Then it was clear. The kid was responsible for their actions.
Yeah.
Metal lunch pails were a thing.
Oh, yeah.
Lunches in the 70s were
you bet they were.
Instead of plastic or insulated lunch bags,
Oh, that's so boring. Yes, Evel Knievel.
These pails often had superheroes.
Oh, that was character. Yeah, I had a Wile E. Coyote Roadrunner lunch pail. My brother had the $6 Million Man. I don't remember what my sister had, but he had the $6 Million Man, and I had the Roadrunner. Wile E. Coyote. Yeah, I got a Peanuts one today on top of my refrigerator. Kind of looks like that one. Oh, don't forget the thermos. Thermoses were part of the collection. If I buy a lunch pail today, I better have the thermos that came with it. Oh yeah, they were popular. Ah, yeah, that's when they were made of metal. Lots of pictures and artwork, and you had the nice thermos, and oh, they had character back then. Then they turned to plastic with only one sticker on it. Fuck that. That's when lunch boxes were lunch boxes. Look at that. Look at them. They had character. Today, nah. Boring as fuck. Sorry, I didn't mean to swear. This is supposed to be a fun video. Let's go back.
Characters or TV shows on them, making lunchtime a little more personal and exciting.
It was.
Inside, you'd find the usual sandwich, fruit, and maybe a sweet treat.
Blueberry pie.
Today's insulated lunch bags might keep things colder, but there's something about those metal pails that screams nostalgia. Misbehaving meant facing angry parents.
True.
Did you know that in the 1970s,
Spank, spank, spank.
if you got in trouble at school, you weren't as worried about the teachers
Spare
as
the
you were about
rod.
your parents? When you got home, you'd have to face their disappointment.
Paddle and Peggy. Remember that episode of
Teachers expected parents
King of the
to
Hill?
handle their kids'
Paddle and
behavior.
Peggy. Look it up.
These days, schools
King of the Hill,
and
Paddle and
parents are
Peggy.
more likely to work together
Yeah.
on discipline. But in the 70s,
Yeah,
the
that was the
parents
thing.
set things right. An F in school meant a serious talk.
Oh yeah.
Getting an F in the 1970s wasn't
I was watching an episode of Family Ties. You know, Michael J. Fox and his character Alex Keaton. He got what he called a neff. And his parents says, "What is a neff?" Because he didn't know how to take it, getting an F on it. Because he's always been the A student. And I wanted to be so much like him. I really looked up to him. He really raised my grade point average. So, it was a fun time. True. Report cards were a big deal. They were simple. One little card, A, B, C, D, or F. And if you earned an A, you actually earned it. Grades weren't given out. Now today, a school teacher can't give Johnny a C without getting sued. I have a friend who she wants to be a school teacher. I'm trying to talk her out of it. AI is either going to replace teachers altogether, which they're working on, where a kid can walk into a room and you have a view screen. And what you're going to have is an AI-generated math teacher. And he could still interact with all the students in the class because it's AI-generated. It'll know each student by name. Even have a relationship with each student by name. Yeah, because it's AI. It's a learning program. You can raise your hand, the AI program will see you raise your hand. Yes, Johnny. How can I help you today? I got a problem with this fraction. How can I help you? Let's talk about it. Show me. So it'll be some kind of interactive program. So a human teacher will be gone. Not only that, now if you're a human teacher, now you got to sign a contract. You give Johnny a C, you're fired. Your career is over. Helicopter parents come in and sue the school. You gave Johnny a C, he deserves a B. He's entitled to a B. And you better give it to him or the school district gets sued. Yeah, lawsuits are the reason teachers can't get raises. The money goes to the lawyers. Helicopter parenting. This affects teachers. You don't want to be a teacher today. If you're a teacher, good luck. You get sued, you're gone. That school district gets sued, you're gone. You're fired. They gotta let you go. You're a liability. You gave Johnny a C. Johnny's entitled to a B or an A, according to mom and dad. And they can use, oh, you're prejudiced because, well, Johnny's black. or Johnny's a Native American Indian, Johnny is Asian, Johnny is this, Johnny's that. So many protected groups. You can be sued. I kid you not. You don't want to be a school teacher. That's why they're developing AI programs to replace 1 million teachers. Because the school districts are tired of being sued. At least with an AI program who has no bias. You can't sue a computer program. Well, if Johnny gets a C, Johnny gets a C. Computers are unbiased. So yeah, they're trying to replace teachers with computers now. And there's, like I said, there's an AI program that's being developed right now. Within 5 years, there won't be any elementary school teachers. There'll be a universal teacher on a view screen. They've been working on this since the lockdowns to keep kids safe. They were trying to replace 1 million teachers then. In the name of safety. This is a thing. This is really being developed.
Something you could easily brush off. Your parents would sit you down and give you a serious talk about the importance of school and doing your best.
Yes.
It wasn't just about the grade. It was about showing that you were trying. These sermons were meant to get you back on track and teach you that hard work mattered. Today, parents might be more involved with teachers in solving problems, but in the 70s, it was usually up to you to improve.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sports were everywhere.
Yes.
Sports back then were a big deal. Whether it was organized teams at school or just pickup games in the neighborhood, kids were always outside playing.
Yes, we were.
Sports weren't just for fun. They taught teamwork, discipline,
yes.
and staying active.
Yes, absolutely.
Nowadays, there's more structure and sometimes even pressure around youth sports. But in the 70s, it was all about enjoying the game and hanging out with your friends.
Yes, that's
Whether
gone
you were
today.
Winning or losing, it didn't matter as long as you were out there playing. Vacations and family.
Okay, back on the topic of sports. Today, school districts can't even get kids healthy enough to play sports, to be on the team. We're morbidly obese on all kinds of medications. That's also a thing that they didn't address in this video, but I'm addressing it. That's a real thing. Like I said, this video is going to go to Facebook as well as YouTube. Just comment below. No matter what platform you're on, tell me about your childhood memories. What do you remember about all this stuff? Now we're talking about vacations.
Family adventures. In the 1970s, family vacations were all about exploring the outdoors. Whether it was camping in a national park, hiking through the mountains, or spending time in a lakeside cabin, these trips were an opportunity for families to escape everyday life. Kids would fish, swim, and roast marshmallows around the campfire, while parents enjoyed the peace that nature brought. These moments weren't just about fun. They helped families bond.
True. Absolutely true. Now, my family, my dad had a 65 or 66 pickup with a camper shell on it, so we didn't have the station wagon that they're going to address here in a second. But I don't remember us ever going camping, but we would do Worlds of Fun, Six Flags. We went to Wisconsin a lot to visit relatives. Branson, Steal Your Dollar City. That's what I call it. Because they steal your dollars. They should call it Steal Your Dollar City. So that's my memory. Let's go back to the video.
Being surrounded by nature and away from distractions made these memories priceless, reminding families that the simple joys of life often come from the world around us.
That's true.
Birthday parties were a whole lot of fun. Birthday parties back then were something kids looked forward to all year. These celebrations were big.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And it stayed that way all the way through the 90s, possibly. And if you had a birthday party at, say, Showbiz Pizza Place, Chuck E. Cheese, McDonald's, you invited all your friends. Listen to your little kid. Now, when I was a little kid, we did have the McDonald's thing, I think. But Chuck E. Cheese didn't come along until my teens. By then, you had a very different kind of party by the time you were 16. But when you're a little kid, yeah, it's Chuck E. Cheese, Showbiz, McDonald's. Oh, yeah, if you had either one of those birthday parties at either one of those places, that was a thing. There's an episode of Married with Children where Al Bundy would go to all these birthday parties. Forgot what the name of the episode, but there was an episode where he made it a thing. He just so he could eat. But yeah, it was this is huge. Kids would gather together. Now, yeah, you still can, but it's so organized. It's on Facebook. Let's all get together. Assuming they show up, 90% of them are on their phones. They're not even chatting with each other. They're doing this at a birthday party. No, put your phones down. Put your phones away. Let's have a birthday party. Let's interact. That's gone today. Yeah, there's still birthday parties that take place, but only if you're upper middle class. I guarantee it. Those kids have birthday parties, and they get hearts and likes on social media. If you're lower middle class, forget it. Nobody gives a shit. There's class warfare going on, even here. There was an episode of Problem Child with John Ritter. He took his son to a birthday party. You should watch Problem Child. Funny movie. Talk about birthday parties. They were a lot of fun back in the day. Not so much today.
With friends, family, and lots of laughter. Themed parties were popular, with kids dressing up as clowns.
So what's your childhood memory?
Characters from their favorite
Either
TV shows,
a party you had or you went to.
The donkey, or musical chairs filled the day. And of course, no birthday party was complete.
Tell me your memory of a childhood birthday party. It doesn't even have to be your birthday party.
Games, though. They were about creating memories and sharing special moments with loved ones.
Yes.
A scrape or two. No big deal.
That's true. No, again, I mentioned this earlier.
Getting a few scrapes and bruises during playtime was just part of the fun.
Today, young men and women don't know how to take bumps and bruises. They don't know how to take rejection.
Parents didn't overreact to a skin.
They think they're entitled to everything, all because they didn't. They didn't know how to take rejection. They didn't know how to get bumps and bruises. Pick your feet up and go.
The best part of the weekend. Saturdays in the 70s had one highlight for every kid. Cartoons.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Like Scooby-Doo.
Scooby-Doo.
Flintstones, and Tom and Jerry were
yes.
the stars of the weekend.
Who remembers your Saturday morning cartoons? I remember Land of the Lost, Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck. What was your favorite Saturday morning cartoon?
These cartoons were more than just entertainment. They gave kids a chance to unwind, laugh, and enjoy their favorite part of the week.
With others.
Plus,
it was an event.
It was something to look forward to before the school week started again. Friends made every day better.
They do.
Having friends over in the 70s was a big deal. Whether it was after school or on weekends, kids would play games, ride
absolutely.
bikes,
What's your favorite
TV
memory of?
There was always something fun to do.
I liked hanging out with my friends.
Playing board games or just hanging out. These play dates were a way for kids to strengthen friendships, share laughter, and enjoy being young. And let's not forget how a simple afternoon with friends could turn into the most memorable day.
Because you shared events together.
Their record collections.
Oh, yeah.
Now,
there's another one.
70s,
I still got a record collection today.
Record collection. Music was everything. From rock to disco, teens would spend hours listening to their
I got everything from Blondie to Styx.
Vinyl records weren't just music, they were a lifestyle.
They were.
Teens would often gather
we bought albums. Today we have Spotify. We've taken the joy out of music.
Over their shared love for bands like the Rolling Stones or Led Zeppelin.
Oh, yeah.
It was a time when music brought people together.
And that's when music was music.
Lasted a lifetime.
The music they got today sucks.
Sleepovers were filled with adventure.
I've never done a sleepover.
A sleepover at a friend's house in the
This is something I've never done.
Adventure.
Girls did this. Boys didn't.
Bring their favorite toys.
This is a girl thing. You know, the slumber parties.
From watching movies to telling ghost stories and staying up way past bedtime, sleepovers were a way for kids
like I
to
said, that was
bond
more
and
for
share
girls.
secrets. It wasn't just about staying up late.
Boys had
It
tree
was about
houses,
creating lifelong
secret
memories with
societies.
friends. Family dinners meant more than just eating.
Yeah, we would watch
70s,
TV
family
together,
dinners weren't
but we were
rushed
doing
affairs.
things together as a family.
when
That's
everyone
true.
sat
We
down
gathered
together,
around the dinner
shared
table.
their day, and
Sometimes,
Without the distraction of smartphones or the TV, These meals were
Actually, we did have the TV.
whether talking about
It's usually
school,
Fantasy
work,
Island,
or
Love
events,
Boat.
Family dinners gave everyone a chance
But
to
we
feel
still gather
heard and
together as a
supported.
family. We still talk
This
together
daily
as a
tradition
family.
fostered close family bonds
But
and
the TV is
created a
more
sense of
background
unity
than
that
anything.
stayed with children as they grew up. Chores like dishwashing taught responsibility.
I hated
Did you know
chores.
that washing dishes wasn't just a chore in the 70s? It was a way to teach responsibility.
For us,
After
feeding
family
chickens,
meals, kids were often expected to help
feeding the
clean up,
dogs,
and that meant scrubbing
taking out the
dishes.
trash.
While it might not have
making
been
your
the most
bed.
exciting task, it was a way for children to learn the importance of contributing to the household. Plus, washing dishes together often led to moments of laughter and teamwork, turning a simple
I'm
chore
spoiled. I
into
guess I didn't
quality
do that as a
family
kid.
time.
We had other chores though.
Grocery Day was a family event.
Oh yeah.
Believe it or
Oh
not,
yeah.
grocery
I love
shopping
going to the
was
grocery
fun
store with
in
my
the
parents.
70s. Families would head
We
to
would
the
dress
store
up.
together,
Yeah,
and
people
kids would
didn't
get
dress like
excited about
slobs.
picking out their favorite snacks or helping their parents choose items.
That's true. We didn't
Grocery
dress
day
like
was more
slobs.
than
People
just a
weren't
chore.
riding
It was a
scooters
chance for
down the
family to
aisle.
spend time together.
People
Children loved staring at a
dressed
shopping cart or
just to
pretending
go to
it
the
was a
grocery
race
store.
car.
That's a fact.
Plus, with all the free samples and
I
demonstrations,
dressed because I thought,
there
well,
was always
what if I meet a
something to
cute
look
girl?
forward to on these trips. Rewards for good behavior at the grocery store. Speaking of grocery, for kids in the 70s, behaving well during a grocery trip often meant a special reward. Parents would let their children pick out a treat from the shelves as a way to say, good job.
Yeah.
Whether it was candy, a favorite snack, or even a small toy.
Even the candies and
This little
snacks
act
were
of
healthier back
independence
then.
made kids feel grown up. It also taught them the value
I know
of
it sounds
good
strange to
behavior,
believe because they didn't put
while
all the
making
chemicals that we
shopping
have today.
experience more enjoyable for everyone.
Foods actually tasted good and had
Affordable
flavor.
Treats were everywhere. The 70s were a time
Yeah,
when
we weren't
snacks
fat.
and treats were affordable.
The sweets back
making it
then
easy
were
for
healthier than
parents
the
to buy
sweets
little
today.
indulgences for their kids without
The
breaking
ingredients were
bank.
real.
From candies to
Now
chips,
they're synthetic
the shelves were
crap.
filled with affordable delights.
Yeah, they were
This meant
affordable.
Kids could enjoy their favorite treats more often, and it brought joy to
Chocolate
families
tasted
who
like
didn't have
chocolate,
to
and Little
worry about
Debbie tasted
overspending.
like it was
It
supposed
was a
to.
time when small
Now they're
pleasures
tasteless
were within
wax.
reach for everyone. Station wagons were a thing. If you lived in the
We had a
70s,
truck.
chances are you rode in a
We never had a
station
station
wagon. at
wagon.
some point. These cars were famous for their spacious interiors, making them perfect for family road trips or grocery
I'm thinking of National Lampoon's
with room
Vacation.
for everyone and everything. Station wagons were like rolling living rooms.
That's the
Families would
pre-SUV.
pile in, and with their large
We have
back
SUVs
seats and
today that do the
rear-facing
same
third
thing.
rows, there was plenty of space for adventure. These cars became a symbol of family life and the memories created on the road. Snacks in the car used to be a road trip tradition. Road trips in the 70s often involved a lot of snacks. Dads especially were known to ask for candy or treats while driving. Whether it was a stop at a gas station for a quick snack or passing around candy in the car.
Oh, we didn't have
these
car seats
moments
back
made
then.
Road trips even more fun. It wasn't just about the destination. It was about the little moments of joy.
No seat belts,
along
no
the
car
way.
seats. We didn't have that stuff.
Outdoor fashion was all about freedom.
It
Kids
was.
in the 70s dressed for freedom when it came
Yeah,
to outdoor
we had
activities like
Our
biking
school
or
clothes,
skateboarding.
church clothes, play
Jeans,
clothes,
t-shirts, and sneakers were the go-to outfits.
dinner clothes because
Perfect for
we couldn't
playing
come to the
outside.
dinner table in dirty
With
clothes.
loose-fitting clothes that allowed them to move freely.
So we had
Kids
to
felt
clean up
comfortable
before
whether
eating,
they were
before
cruising
sitting
down
at the
street
table.
or at the local skate park.
So it
Safety
church,
gear came
school,
later, but in the
work
early days,
clothes, play
it was
clothes.
all
We had
about
4 or
the
5
feeling
sets
of
of
the
clothes
wind in
back
their
then.
hair and the open road ahead.
Because I had one set for school, one set for church, one set for play, one
Forts were
set for
sacred
work.
spaces for kids in the 70s. Whether they built them indoors with blankets and pillows or outside
True.
with sticks and leaves, forts were places where imagination thrived. These cozy hideaways
Oh,
became
yeah. I
castles,
remember the
pirate ships,
tree
or
houses
secret
and
headquarters,
secret
inside, kids
clubs
could
and
share
secret
stories,
societies.
plan adventures, or
We had
just
fun.
enjoy a bit of independence. These private little worlds gave children a sense of ownership and creativity, creating memories that would last forever.
Oh, yeah.
The magic of the Sears Christmas
Did you ever have a
The
tree house?
Sears Christmas catalog
As a-
was
as a
dream
kid
come
growing
true
up,
for kids
ever
in the 70s.
climbed
Filled
up-
with toys, games, and holiday
Usually these tree
treasures. It was
houses
the
had
perfect
secret
tool for
memberships.
making wish lists.
You had to join
Families would
someone's
gather
tree house,
around,
join their
flipping through
club.
the pages to plan their holiday shopping.
Yeah.
For kids, it was a magical moment. picturing the toys they hope to find under the Christmas tree.
Oh yeah.
From dolls to board games, the catalog
Christmas was an event
and made the holiday season even more special. In the end, children are shaped by the environment they grow
Holidays,
up in. Things were different back then. Growing up in the 1970s meant more time outside, bonding with family, and simpler pleasures.
Absolutely.
But today's kids are more connected globally, learning new skills quickly through technology.
Yeah.
And have more tools for self-expression. It's all about finding balance.
Then why are they so depressed? Why are people so lonely? Why is there a loneliness epidemic? But even Christmas, remember when you used to go shopping, all the stores were decorated? Nobody decorates anymore. The stores don't decorate. Be lucky if they even play Christmas music. People, you go down the street, you have to look for houses with decorations. People don't cook meals anymore. Everything's bought from Walmart, instant. We picked it up at Walmart. They did all the cooking. What you can do. That's what people do. They don't even cook at home. They don't decorate their houses anymore. You go to someone's house, there's no decoration. You're lucky if they even have a tree up. At best, they might have a tree. At best. But that's it. Just a tree. Nothing else throughout the house. You watch a Hallmark movie and everything's decorated. When I was a kid growing up, the shopping malls were decorated. All the stores were decorated. There was Christmas music everywhere, and people wore their holiday sweaters. You could still buy holiday sweaters at Walmart. But it was a thing back then. Today, no Christmas music. The stores did it to put you in the mood. They play the Christmas music. It puts you in the mood to buy Christmas stuff. It's psychological. Today they don't even do that. Yeah, Walmart's got a Christmas section, candy, stuff, but nobody cooks at home either. That's the lost art form. There's still family gatherings. You see them on Facebook, but not as much as there used to be. And so, yeah. So enjoy your family gatherings. I had many growing up, and I have all those memories. And this video will go to Facebook as well as YouTube. And I haven't posted on Facebook in, it's 4 days from now would be a month. So sometime this week go on Facebook, which is the first thing I've had in a month on Facebook. I just don't care for it anymore. I just don't. So it's rare that I post anything at all anymore. But this will definitely go up. This has to go up on Facebook as well as YouTube. Because we're going down memory lane. What's your favorite memory as a kid growing up? Your sister hogging up the phone? Yeah, that was a thing. Hiding your Playboy magazines under the bed from your mom? Putting a fake cover on it like Field and Stream? So if your mom found it, she'd go, oh, Field and Stream. She'd go, Field and Stream, my ass. He's 15. Mommies know. Mothers know. They just know. They have a nose for it. At least mine did. So, yeah, it was such a fun time. Went outside playing tree houses and had our metal lunch boxes. And this video just brought up a lot of memories. Saturday morning cartoons. Who didn't like Land of the Lost? Or Speed Buggy? Or the classic Bugs Bunny? How about the Little Rascals, our gang? Spanky, Alfalfa, Buckwheat. All those childhood memories that I want to cling on to. I'm glad I had the childhood that I had. I really am. I think I have a lot of advantages because I grew up getting all my bumps and bruises. But what's your childhood memory? You saw this video. What do you think? I don't know. But this was a fun video. And I know it's time to end this video and time to say goodbye. We're up to 45 minutes, and I want to thank you all for coming aboard, for joining me on this journey down memory lane. Today our destination was the 1970s. My childhood. My Roadrunner lunchbox. Yeah, lunchboxes had character. Today they're made of who knows what. It's boring. I wouldn't want to be a kid today. We used to interact with each other. Today, everybody's on these. We do this 8 hours a day. I don't give a shit. I don't. That's why you haven't seen me on Facebook. I just don't care. I don't. But thank everybody for watching. Comment below. What was your favorite childhood memory? Birthday parties, lunch boxes, clubhouses. What kind of fun did you have? What's different today? Yeah, too much helicopter parenting. I agree. Kids today, they do not know the meaning of the word fun. Even though you're 20-something adults don't know that meaning. Because they grew up with this. Fun is something they don't know anything about. They don't. They don't know. Girls hop from one guy to the next because the guys they date are boring because they don't know what fun is. They forgot the meaning of that word. They don't know. Frat parties were exciting. Skinny dipping parties. Wet t-shirt contest. Beer contest. Drinking somebody under the table. You can't do that today. Wet t-shirt contests are gone. That's sad. You have to be in college to understand that. But anyway, life was fun back then, wasn't it? When you're a kid growing up through school, at a frat house in college, we had a lot of fun back then. It's all gone. It just is. And I don't know. I went down memory lane. I had a good time with this video. And there were no comments on this video. Besides, we don't have time to go over the comments. I depend on you to comment below. Comment, whatever platform you're watching this on. Thank you for joining us. I really have to say goodbye. We're up to almost 50 minutes already. This was a fun video. I'm glad I got to share my part of my growing up with you. I gotta go. Otherwise, I'd ramble on about Scooby-Doo, whatever things I had growing up that I enjoyed. Playing outside with the other kids. Just having fun. Yeah, we had junk food. It was healthier back then. Now, food actually tasted good back then. And we burned it off. But things are different today. Well, thanks for watching. I really gotta go. Bye-bye.